Have you ever wondered how we know so much about our past? What if I told you that historians and scientists have been piecing together the story of humanity for thousands of years? In this video, we'll explore the fascinating timeline and sources of history and how various experts contribute to our understanding of the world we live in today. Let's begin by talking about the explorers of Earth and its history. Geologists study the physical features of the Earth, such as soil, stones, hills, mountains, rivers, seas, and oceans. Anthropologists study human societies and cultures from ancient times to the present. Paleontologists examine the remains of plants, animals, and humans from millions of years ago through fossils. Archaeologists dig up remains left by people, plants, and animals such as tools, pots, toys, bones, teeth, and parts of houses. Now, let's dive into the ways we measure time in history. Different societies. Different societies and cultures have their own ways of measuring time. Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar is the most widely used around the world today. Other calendars like the Hindu, Muslim, Jewish, and Chinese calendars are also used, especially for setting dates for festivals and special occasions. BCE and CE, years before Jesus' birth, are counted backward and are marked with BCE, meaning before Common Era. And the years following them are marked with CE, Common Era. Now let's try to understand BCE and CE. CE or Common Era refers to the years after the believed birth of Jesus Christ. It replaces the older term AD, which stands for Anno Domini, a Latin phrase meaning in the year of our Lord. For example, the year 1947, when India became independent, can be written as 1947 CE. CE, BCE or before Common Era refers to the years before the birth of Jesus Christ. It replaces the older term BC, which means before Christ. For instance, 560 BCE is the approximate year when Gautam Buddha was born. Historical timeline. Next, let's discuss historical timelines. A timeline is a visual way to show events in the order they happened, in a chronological way. It's useful to study history effectively as it helps us to visualize the events along with the time differences at which they occurred. Understanding history with a timeline. Chronological order. Timelines organize important events in chronological order, making it easier to see how they are connected over time. Key moments. Timelines often begin with the earliest humans and continue to the present day, highlighting key moments in history. Comparing events. They allow us to compare events easily. For instance, even without knowing the exact dates, you can tell that Buddha was born before Jesus by their positions on the timeline. Centuries and millenniums. A century is a period of 100 years. We count centuries in history every 100 years starting from 1 CE. Understanding centuries and millenniums, in addition to talking about years and decades, we also use other terms to describe longer stretches of time. These are millennium. A millennium is a period of 1000 years. 100 years, a century. A century is a period of 100 years. Panchanga, the Indian traditional calendars. In India, calendars are traditionally based on the sun and moon. A Panchanga is a special book listing days, eclipses, sunrise, sunset, festivals, and weather predictions, still widely used today. Now let's look at the sources of history and how we gather information. Gathering information, historians try to gather information from as many sources as possible to get a complete picture. Matching the pieces. Historians often compare different sources of information. Sometimes the sources agree with each other like pieces of a puzzle that fit together perfectly. Who helps create history? Historians aren't the only ones who contribute to our understanding of the past. They get help from archaeologists, epigraphists, anthropologists, literature and language experts. At the beginnings of human history. Let's explore the beginnings of human history. Homo sapiens have lived on Earth for about 300,000 years, a small fraction of Earth's history. Early humans survived by living in groups, hunting, gathering, and seeking shelter in camps, caves, or rock shelters. They used fire, made tools like stone axes and blades, and communicated in now lost languages. Their beliefs included thoughts about nature and possibly life after death. Evidence of their lives can be seen in ancient rock paintings found worldwide. If against trade, they sometimes traded these with other groups. Paintings. Some paintings show simple figures or symbols, while others show detailed scenes with animals or people. Jewelry. Early humans also learned to make simple jewelry like beads and pendants from stones, shells, or animal teeth. Tools. Early humans made their lives easier by using tools like stone axes and narrow heads, which helped them hunt, build, and protect themselves. Let's take a look at the story of the first crop's climate changes. Over many years, the Earth's climate has changed a lot. Sometimes it was very cold, and a large part of the Earth was covered with ice. This time is called the Ice Age. This was about 100,000 years ago. End of the Ice Age, around 12,000 years ago, when the weather warmed up, some of the ice melted and the water flowed into rivers. Post Ice Age, after the Ice Age, life became easier for humans. In many places, people began to settle down and grow crops like cereals and grains. Post agriculture. Over time, small villages grew bigger and started trading goods like food, clothes, and tools with each other. In this journey through history, we have discovered how various fields study our past, the significance of timelines, and how climate changes have shaped human life. Understanding these elements helps us appreciate the incredible story of humanity. We hope that you have understood the topic. You can now study chapter notes, watch video lectures, and solve MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev to ensure you score well in your school exams. And that's not all. You also get amazing courses for maths, science, English, Hindi, and much more for class 6. Thank you.